Hello. What comes to mind when you think of Amazon? Most people think a company that sells stuff cheap and ships it fast. But there's something strange. The world's biggest shopping company barely makes money from shopping. So where does this company actually make its real money? What does this massive company called Amazon actually do? And how does it make money? Today, let's find out together. Oh, by the way, this video is not investment advice. It's for educational, entertainment, and informational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research before making any investment decisions. Any investment decisions are your own responsibility. Okay, let's talk about Amazon. We usually think of Amazon as a company that sells stuff. But when you look at the company carefully, Amazon isn't really a stuff company. It's more like a company that builds roads. Since Amazon was founded in July 1994, what they've built over 30 years isn't products. It's all the roads those products travel on, to your front door, to computers inside data centers. Amazon paved the roads that goods and data travel on. So Amazon's real assets aren't the stuff they've stocked up, not their product inventory. It's the network of roads woven together. Once you think about it this way, you start to get why this company isn't just another shopping mall. But here's something even stranger. In 2024, Amazon brought in $638 billion in revenue. That's an enormous amount. That's about 1/11 of the United States federal government's annual budget, roughly equivalent to the combined yearly budgets of California, New York, Texas, Florida, and Washington State. But when you look at the actual money, this company keeps after all the costs, the operating profit. The story gets weird. Where they earn it and where they keep it. The way money flows is a bit different than it looks. Let's make this simple. Say Amazon makes $100. About $83 of that $100 comes from shopping-related stuff. You know us buying things, getting deliveries, signing up for Prime membership. The remaining $17 or so comes from the cloud AWS. Amazon's a shopping company, so obviously they make money from shopping, right? But let's look at operating profit after subtracting costs, like buying products, logistics, and salaries. The story completely changes. When Amazon makes $100 in sales, they keep about $10 as profit. From that $83 in shopping, almost no profit. Buying products, discounts, shipping, returns, salaries, and they can't charge more than other stores, maybe $3 to $4 at most. Meanwhile, from the cloud, AWS, and advertising that you barely notice, over $6 in profit. Look at this. Shopping brings in 5 times more revenue than the cloud, but the cloud puts more money in the boss's pocket, even that $4 from shopping. If you look closely, advertising contributed to that too. Simply put, Amazon uses shopping to gather people and grow big, then rents out cloud computers and shows ads to make the real money. This is what I mean by the money flow being strange. AWS. It's a term you don't see much in daily life. But when talking about Amazon, this name keeps popping up everywhere. Why is AWS so important and profitable? It's actually used in services we use every day. Video streaming like Netflix, accommodation services like Airbnb, music streaming like Spotify, games, social media like Pinterest, corporate systems for BMW, Samsung, Uber. So many things run on Amazon servers. Simply put, companies used to have to build server rooms in their own buildings and buy rows and rows of computers. Now we're in an era where you just rent servers from Amazon. From Amazon's perspective, in shopping you buy stuff, pack it, ship it, not much profit left. But with AWS, once they build the data center, thousands and tens of thousands of customers share it and consistently pay fees. So they barely profit from shopping. But from this invisible AWS comes over half the company's total profit. From this point on, Amazon plays a completely different game than other shopping companies. So here's a question. Can't other companies just buy servers and build warehouses too? It's not that easy. This is exactly why Amazon doesn't need to fight. The roads Amazon has paved over 30 years aren't just one warehouse or one server room. It's a delivery network tightly connecting the whole world, a marketplace with millions of sellers, a cloud supporting hundreds of thousands of companies, and all the data accumulated there. For any competitor to catch up, they'd need to spend hundreds of billions of dollars laying down the same roads again. This isn't a fight about who can sell cheaper. It's a game of who kept going and laid infrastructure to the end. Amazon makes massive CapEx, capital expenditures, every year. In 2024, it was about $77.6 billion. More than half goes to AWS-related investments. Other companies can't easily catch up. So Amazon doesn't need to compete on price head-on, because whoever laid all the roads gets to set the rules of the game. But Amazon isn't a perfect company either. It got too big. Growth isn't what it used to be, and various risks emerged. AWS market share was once overwhelmingly number one, but it's slowly losing ground. Microsoft and Google are fiercely chasing. The advertising business is doing well, but regulatory scrutiny is growing too. Regulation has become a real money-costing risk. In September 2025, they paid a $2.5 billion settlement to the FTC just because Prime was hard to cancel. And above all, they've entered a phase of spending enormous money again, due to AI competition. Until now, massive investments have paid off. Thanks to logistics investments, they reduced delivery times and per-unit shipping costs, turning the shopping division from loss to profit. Same with AWS. They endured losses for years early on, but now it's the secret vault responsible for over half the company's profit. The problem is the future. AI, data centers, satellite investments are too massive, with long payback periods, high risk. Will these investments pay off, like before? People started asking, can this company keep growing? Is this the limit? Let me summarize the story so far, and talk about what to watch in Amazon's future. How they break through the risks I mentioned will shape Amazon's future. I've organized it into 4 things. First, AWS growth recovery. AWS once grew over 30%. But recent growth has slowed. In Q3 2025, it grew 20.2%. The key is whether this pace continues and what happens to market share. Second, will AI become real money? Amazon is investing massively, not just in its own AI chip, Trainium, but everywhere related. How quickly will these AI infrastructure investments return as new revenue and profit? Third, expanding ad revenue. Can shopping search and Prime Video ads maintain current growth rates beyond regulatory walls? Advertising is growing at 24% right now. Can this continue? Fourth, when CapEx decreases. When will they finish laying all the roads that need laying and be able to slow investment a bit? Depending on the answers to these 4 things, Amazon could look like a completely different company. It could look like a tech infrastructure company, still in early growth, or a giant dinosaur too big to run fast anymore. Amazon isn't a company you understand all at once. What you see on the surface are delivery boxes and shopping screens, but hidden behind them is a massive structure of logistics networks, servers, data, and advertising all tangled together. Once you see this structure, you understand why people fear this company yet keep using it. In exchange for convenience, Amazon is slowly changing how we live. And Amazon keeps trying to grow. Whether Amazon continues growing or starts walking slowly, that's for you to judge. What do you think about Amazon? Let me know in the comment. Thank you for watching. Subscribing and liking is love.